We are live. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're having a fantastic day, evening, morning, whatever time you're watching this video. I'm James, and welcome back to the Watford Way today for your Watford versus Chelsea pre-match preview. And we're here discussing, of course, we're in that period now in the Premier League where there's a lot of fixtures. They come thick and fast, and it's like we're playing in the Championship. You play Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday, Tuesday. Lots and lots of fixtures to be played. And the first one, and a really, really tough fixture. We're starting with Chelsea at home. 2 home games in a row coming up as well. Manchester City. We'll discuss that later this week after the Chelsea game. Obviously, we're here to discuss Chelsea today. And obviously the big injury list that Watford unfortunately have accrued through, whether it be Ben Foster, Ismail Assar, there's just a long list of injuries at Watford at the moment. We'll discuss that. We'll discuss how Chelsea are doing, and we've got some Chelsea team news to bring you as well. So a lot to talk about. I'm doing all right. My oven in my house is broke, so we're having to have microwave meals for the rest of the week. So yeah, we're getting a new oven, which is exciting. But yeah, seriously, let's talk about the football. And yeah, I'm very concerned for this game. I was concerned for the game anyway. Obviously, Chelsea, winning the Champions League last season. I think they're first in the Premier League currently on 30 points. In fact, I'll just bring up the Premier League table for you now so we can have a look at that together. Yeah, Chelsea first. Watford playing first and second in the Premier League over the course of the coming week. Chelsea have won 3 out of their last 5 matches, drawing 2, and they sit on 30 points and have only conceded 5 goals so far this season, which is absolutely, it's absolutely insane. Rudiger's absolutely fantastic for them. You got Mendy in goal. You got Thiago Silva. You got Reece James. Ben Chilwell's obviously now out injured, but their defensive structure, their defensive solidity, the system they play under Thomas Tuchel is fantastic. It's fantastic to watch, and unfortunately for Watford, Romelu Lukaku looks to be back for this game, which I'm not looking forward to that. I don't think he'll start. I think that's our only saving grace. But, Watford defensively, attackingly as well, attacking-wise, we've got a long injury list. And I think we'll get straight into the talking point of today's show, really. That is the injury list. It was published earlier today on Twitter and on the Watford website. And it's absolutely insane, to be honest with you. I don't think I've really ever seen anything like this at Watford, especially with such key players getting injured as well. So Ismail Assar has a knee ligament injury that was sustained against Manchester United. Donny van der Beek tackling Ismail Assar has caused this injury. And in the ground at the time, when you hear a collision and it makes that kind of sound. I was way like away from the tackle in the stands, but I could still hear the collision happened. And ultimately, at the time, Ranieri said it didn't look too serious. It's come to fruition that actually it is quite a serious injury. He's at least out for a month. They've decided not to operate on Ismail Assar, so he's out for a month. And I believe what they're doing is they're going to let the injury rest. And then reassess him in a month's time with an MRI scan, which is very, very worrying. I think the only saving grace with Ismail Assar is he won't be going to the African Cup of Nations now. Ranieri didn't confirm that earlier, but he essentially did confirm that by the words he used. He says, we'll assess him in a month's time and slowly he'll come back. Well, AFCON starts, around Boxing Day. That's when the players have to go out to their respective nations. And if Ismail Assar is not going to be back until January, he's definitely not going to be going to the African Cup of Nations. So Ismail Assar out for a very, very long time. More really bad news, actually. Nicholas Nkulu is going to be sidelined until the new year as well, picking up a hamstring injury towards the end, again, of that Manchester United match. Fantastic win, but it's caused us some big injury issues, unfortunately. Ben Foster has been nursing a groin strain in recent games, it says here on the Watford website. And the result of a scan late last week revealed that Ben Foster, who missed Sunday's trip to Leicester City, again will be out of action until January, which is very, very a big blow for Watford, because lately Ben Foster had been performing at a very, very high level. So Daniel Batman gets his chance. We're gonna have Daniel Batman in the squad to play the next 8-9 games. So yeah, very, very good opportunity for Batman, but gutted to be missing Foster. Before we continue, let's take a look at some of your comments. Adam is in chat. Evening, Adam. Hope you're having a fantastic day. And by the way, if you're a season ticket holder at Watford, you should have received an email today. You should have received an email about the Elton John concert tickets, which is very, very exciting. I'm very, very fortunate to receive a early access code to get access to the tickets early tomorrow. So if you're a season ticket holder and you signed up to that, check your emails and you should have a ticket regarding the Elton John concert tickets. Mr. Testosterone, I hope you are having a fantastic day. I don't know if you agree. I think our injury list, hopefully short-term ones, came at the right time versus Chelsea and Manchester City, not important games. Actually, I think that's a good point, to be fair. I mean, there's still quite a few to get through. I'll get through them now, but there's a few short-term ones in there where actually them missing Chelsea and Man City, isn't too bad. Obviously we want our best players available all of the time, but it's very unlikely we'll beat Chelsea and Manchester City anyway. Is it that bad if we're missing players for them games? I'd argue it's not too bad, albeit I'd rather obviously have everybody available. And yeah, I think it was Adam who asked the question, how did Foster pick up the injury? It didn't really confirm on the website how it happened, really. In fact, let me scroll back up to it. It just says, having been nursing a groin strain in recent games. So basically, Ben Foster's been playing with this injury for a while. He had a scan last week, revealed that he had a serious groin injury, and now he's out until January. So whose fault is that? Arguably Ben Foster's fault for continuing to play with an injury. But if the medical staff knew he was nursing that injury, that they should have told him, Ben, you can't play on with this. It's going to cause you a long-term issue. And ultimately, he's now out until January, which is a big blow for Watford and a big blow for staying up in the Premier League, because the last 4, 5, 6 games, I'd argue, Foster's been right up there making some top class saves. Adam Messina is expected to be fit, so a bit of good news there for everyone. Adam Messina's fit. Come on. Adam Messina is expected to be fit for tomorrow's match against Chelsea, despite picking up a knock against Leicester. However, some bad news again. Back to sad James. Emmanuel Dennis is a doubt after his withdrawal at the King Power Stadium. So a bit vague around Emmanuel Dennis there. Is it a serious injury? Is it a minor injury? Is Dennis going to be on the bench tomorrow? Who knows? Who knows with Watford? And unfortunately, some more news to bring you. Juraj Kuchka, my apologies, will be assessed after missing Sunday's game. He was obviously available again because he'd come back from suspension. He picked up that red card against Arsenal. He was unavailable against Leicester. And then, he was available for Leicester. Unfortunately, he's now going to be assessed for an injury on a minor knock to the knee. Ken Sema is still out with a knee injury, hoping to rejoin training with the squad by the end of this week. So, there's a few players coming back, not in really the positions we need, but Ken Sema can come back. Messina's back. Dennis may be available. So there's a couple of players who are going to come back, but a lot of players are out for a very, very long time. And I'm not done yet. I'm losing my breath here. We're nearly there. Francisco Sirielta obviously is injured, but he's now running back outside. So good to see Francisco Sirielta's back and running on grass, which is great to see. And longer-term absentees, Peter Atebo with a quad injury and Kodwo Bar with an ankle injury, are continuing to work at the training ground on their rehabilitation program. So there we go. It took me a while to get through the injury list. Yeah, I mean, can you see the worry in my face? I'm very, very concerned going into this game. But you know, I love going to football. You know, 2 home games in a week. It's fantastic to see. Let me know if you're going as well. Rudy, I can see you in chat. Obviously, we spoke on Instagram earlier today. And yeah, let's read a few more of your comments. And there's a little bit of Chelsea team news to bring you as well before I end off the live stream as well. I'll also bring you my score prediction for the game. Varna, thank you very much for watching. Really do appreciate it. Let me know where you're watching from as well. It's always interesting to see if we've got international fans in chat. Daniel Garfield, very, very positive. We will win against Chelsea. I hope so. I certainly hope so. Mr. Testosterone says we should bring back Zinkernagel in January. I think a lot of fans were calling for that. I'd argue if the centre-back injuries are really, really bad, I'd argue, you know, potentially recalling Matty Pollock from Cheltenham. You know, that's a deal that we could do. I don't know if there's a clause available for Watford to do that, but if we are struggling that badly, you know, if Craig Cathcart gets injured, for example, if William Schuster-Kong gets injured, we're going to be very, very light in that area. So hopefully that is some sort of an option. Varna must be a Chelsea fan because I think you're talking about Callum Hudson-Odoi. 100% Watford win tomorrow. Adam says agreed. Rudy says hopefully King can add to his tally tomorrow. Well, yeah, Josh King up to 5 Premier League goals this season. Very, very happy for him. You know, fantastic to reach that mark. You know, already we're not even halfway through the season. You know, in fact, how many games have we played? 13 games. Sorry about that. 13 games played for Josh King, 5 goals, 2 assists. You know, that is yes, a fantastic return. You know, he's well on his way to getting double figures in the Premier League this season. So is Emmanuel Dennis. I think if Sarr wasn't injured, I think Sarr, you know, could have maybe hit 10 goals by the new year. So, you know, we've actually not got really that many problems scoring goals. It's defensively and William Schuster-Kong specifically that is letting us down at the moment. So yeah, hopefully King can add to his tally tomorrow. That'd be great to see. Let me know if you can go into the game, Rudy, as well. Hopefully, if I can, I'll see you in and around the ground. Daniel's gone with 6-4 Chelsea. That would be a very, very good game to watch, Daniel. I'd love that. Adam says, James, do you think we need to sign another centre back in the winter? I think for me, Adam, just depends really on what's happening. Like, you know, Nkulu's out till the new year. Obviously, we've got a lot of games coming up, and you know, a lot of players still have the potential to get injured. You know, if we lost Craig Cathcart and we lost William Schuster-Kong, we've only got Kabasele left. So, you know, I think we do have enough centre backs there. Sirielta, Troost, Kaba, Cathcart. You know, there is enough there, I think. But obviously, the lack of depth in that position has been highlighted by the injuries we've got. So I think when we've got all our centre backs available, no, I don't think we need one. But maybe, Adam, you know, maybe look at like a 6-month loan deal. I think there's a lot of free agents available at the moment. I think Mangala, who used to play for Manchester City, you know, is available on a free agent. I wouldn't mind that deal happening. So there's quite a lot that could happen really. So it'll be interesting to kind of see what recruitment does in terms of sorting out the injury issues that we've got at the moment, and whether they bring in any reinforcements in January. Daniel was going to both games. Great to see Daniel. I personally sit in the upper Graham Taylor stand, so if you're in and around the area, look out for my beautiful face, and you might see me. Who knows? And yeah, apparently Varna is a Chelsea fan. Yeah, I agree, Adam. I mean, Ben Wilmot, very, very bad decision to let him go really to Stoke. Doing very, very well there. I think all the Stoke fans are very, very happy with him. Bargain, to be honest. I think it must have been, what, £8 million, was it? I can't quite remember the fee he went for, but bargain for Stoke. And yeah, you know, I'm sure Watford had the option to keep him. But, you know, unfortunately, Xisco just didn't he just didn't rate him. And when a manager doesn't rate a player, the player will want to leave and play their football elsewhere. Before we wrap up the stream, just some Chelsea news to bring you now. Oh, I've gone very, very dark. Let me turn up my lights a little bit. There we go. I'm back. I'm back in the light. Some Chelsea news confirmed earlier today. Obviously, we've discussed the Watford injury update. Some Chelsea absentees actually to discuss as well. And it says here on Twitter, confirmed officially by Chelsea as well, that they'll be without Ben Chilwell, Kovacic, and N'Golo Kante for tomorrow's game with Watford. So Chilwell, Kovacic, and Kante all confirmed to be out. Kante, especially for me, is fantastic. So really, really good to see that. Excuse me. I'm talking so much. I'm losing my breath. You see. Great to see that Kante's not playing. Chilwell is out for quite a long time, actually, I believe. I think he might have done his ACL or some sort of ankle injury. And Kovacic, I'm not entirely sure what's happening with him. And late fitness tests required on Jorginho, Reece James, and Timo Werner. Although I'd expect all of them to play, actually. Whenever a club says they're doing a late fitness test, 99% of the time the player is usually available, and it's just to kind of trick the opposition club into thinking they're injured. So I wouldn't read too much into that. But Ben Chilwell, Kovacic, and Kante all definitely confirmed to be missing the Watford game, which for me, it's only positive news, isn't it? In terms of score prediction for the game, how do I see this game going? As always, I'll give you a normal score prediction, and I'll give you a James score prediction because my score predictions are usually very, very bad. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. So, a normal score prediction, I think Chelsea should be beating us. We've got a ridiculous injury list, as we've discussed already, missing lots and lots of key players. It wouldn't surprise me if there's even some academy players on the bench for Watford. I think James Morris was on the bench for Leicester. It wouldn't surprise me to see him again. Rob Elliott will be on the bench, obviously, because Ben Foster's out. So there'll be quite a lot of new players on the bench, I think, for Watford. As I said, Chelsea got a couple of injury doubts there, but overall, their squad is absolutely ridiculous. Their squad cost a lot of money to assemble. As does Manchester City's, who we play on Saturday, and ultimately Watford could get absolutely spanked in both games. However, I don't think that will happen. I do have a little bit of faith in Watford after we beat Manchester United. Even though we lost to Leicester, I'm always very, very confident. So, what shall I go with? I don't know. What shall I go with? Let me know yours in chat. I think it's a Chelsea win. I want to go 2-1 Chelsea. I think Watford will score. I think Josh King will score. But yeah, I think Chelsea will have too much for Watford, unfortunately. And then obviously we'll be looking ahead to Manchester City at the weekend. In terms of a more positive score prediction, 6-0 Watford. Why the hell not? 6-0 Watford. Everyone takes a pee out of me for going for these ridiculous predictions, but why not? Hey, you might as well always predict a Watford win. And yeah, I think we'll end off the stream there. So I'll get a Chelsea match reaction out on Thursday probably, and then on Friday. I mean, as I said earlier, the games are coming thick and fast. We've got a midweek game next week as well. So yeah, I mean, the game is coming thick and fast. I'll get a Chelsea match reaction out on Thursday. Then on Friday, you can join me back here at 7 o'clock as we look ahead to Manchester City. So thank you very much for watching. Yeah, I'll catch you all very, very soon for another stream or video on the channel. Make sure to subscribe as well. I want to hit 600 subscribers here on YouTube by the end of this year. So if you haven't already, it would be very, very, very much appreciated. And an early Christmas present to me if you could subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can find all the links to follow us on social media in the description down below. Apart from that, have a fantastic rest of your day. Have a fantastic evening, morning, afternoon, whenever you're watching this. And yeah, hopefully see a few of you at the game tomorrow. Come on, you Hornets, come on.